Did you have a little too much fun this summer? Is that even a thing? We're going to break down 5 ways to get your business back on track this fall that are effective, easy to do, and ones that really are necessary that keep the paychecks coming in. This episode is a quick breakdown of effective strategies that you're going to want to put into place this week. Let's dive in. You're listening to the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl, Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in.
All right, Beth, it is officially the fall. Do we call it the fall slide? What do we call this?
I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, it does. So right now we're all like, okay, getting our businesses back on track if we've been kind of not doing what we need to be doing over the summer, right?
I think a very common trend we see in real estate is realtors effing around all summer long. And then fall rolls around and it's like, you got to get serious.
Mm-hmm. Because then what happens? The holidays. And then come January, 15th, your mortgage is due and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I have no money.
I have nothing in the pipeline.
It's the market.
You know the thing, and I don't even know if you and I have ever talked about this. Like I see it on these like Facebook real estate pages all the time. What is a good second job that I should get in real estate? And it's like, what?
No.
How about you just do your regular job so you don't have to be going on these forums looking like a chump going, oh, I need another job. I need like quick cash.
Ooh.
What are you going to do? Drive Uber? Like, what are you going to do with your life?
Okay, so we are ripping the Band-Aid off aggressively here.
Right
Sorry,
off.
Everyone, if you came here for some inspiration. We're just like, woo, getting a little aggressive here. No, but really, the summer, right? Like, we all want a little ease in our summer, and we all want to be able to enjoy, especially if you're in a cold weather state. And, you know, kids are out of school.
Our summers are special
They're
here.
special, but also, like, even everywhere else, kids are out of school. You want, like, some of that time. And the reality is, if you don't start hustling now, and I hate that word hustle, you aren't going to have a paycheck come Q1. So today on the podcast, we're going to break down 5 things you can do, totally reasonable things you can do today. Do them this week. Honestly, when this airs, do all of these 5 things this week. Kickstart it. Spend a few hours, do this, and you'll thank us later, maybe?
100%. Yeah, these aren't like hard things. They're things really should be doing in your business all year round.
Yes, absolutely.
But now is a really good time to like get serious about it.
Yes. So what's the first one, Beth?
Number 1, get back in touch with your database. Right? Like you might not have talked to your database all summer long. And how about some client touch points? Like, can you reach out and say, hey, I know that you've been thinking about moving, but guess what? Interest rates are the lowest they've been in a year. Like there's so many easy talking points that you could be reaching out that aren't salesy and gross. We talk about that on the podcast all the time. Don't be salesy and gross, but like reach out like authentically. And you can reach out, look on Facebook. Oh my gosh, Christy and Ryan, I see, how is the cabin build up on the North Shore going? Like there's so many ways that you can reach out to people and not even talk about business, but then organically it'll come up in the conversation where you can just be like staying top of mind with someone.
And sometimes this can feel like a little scary if you haven't like reached out in a while or you're not like up with your emails, that kind of thing. But you have to just rip off the Band-Aid and do it. So how are you going to reach out and connect with them? Figure that out and just do it this week.
And one of my favorite ways to do it, we've talked about this on the podcast a lot, is a video text. Yes. Literally, I, turn my camera around and I'm like, hi, Christy and Ryan. Oh my gosh, I have loved following along your journey on building your cabins up on the North Shore. I just want to check in, see how you guys are doing. Like, how did you fare this summer? How many bug bites did you get? Like, this could be so easy. And then people are going to laugh and, just play to your strong points. Like, funny is always my go-to. But like send a video text. It's so easy. And then someone gets your personality and then you just push send and then they'll respond back. And it's so easy.
And it's a real way to connect. Like this isn't like a manipulation sort of thing. It's like a genuine way to connect. You know these people, they've worked with you, they like you, like get back in touch with them. Because if you aren't, someone else is. That's the real. And someone else is anyways, even if you are. So that's the reality.
But yeah, just be genuine and authentic. It will come through every single time.
Okay, so.
All right, number two. This one's so your jam.
Number two, like brand building, right? Like, are you their local expert, right? Like, how can you bring your brand into your Q4 marketing? So does it feel authentic? Does it feel to you? Does it make sense for you? Like bring your brand in, like bring your brand into your business and start like making your Q4 marketing make sense for you. It's so, so, so important. And you don't have to sound like everyone else. You can absolutely sound like yourself. You can sound like the person that your clients met with, know, like, love, and trust like right away. So how do you make that presence in your brand or in your business right now? Maybe you aren't just talking about real estate. You're talking about things like connection points with them, what sets you apart, like being their local expert, all of that. You want them to come to you. So give them a reason to tell them, like share with them what sets you apart from everyone else because they're getting bombarded. That's the reality too. With so much stuff out there, like make sure that you are making sense for them.
Well, and you always talk about like the pillars of your brand. Like if you've done this, if you've followed along, if you've been following along on this Bus Bench Babes journey the last 4 years, hopefully you have all those pillars of your brand. Mm-hmm. Which one of your pillars of your brand could you take to connect with a past client?
Exactly. Which one? And
or someone who's not a client yet, but you're hoping will be a client where you're building that know, like, and trust factor with them. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that they love that. I love that. And all of a sudden they're like, why would I work with anyone else?
Yeah, give them a reason. Like there are two different ways to like build a business. You can build a business to where you're essentially going to outsource and have like this big team and you're going to remove yourself really from the ins and outs of it. And you're not going to be like the presence of it. You're not going to be the brand of the business. Or you can build it so you are part of it and they actually trust you, know you, like you. So they will have give them the reason that they only want to work with you. Like you're essentially selling yourself. You're not selling the work that you do. So give them that reason. If that's like, I'm assuming if you're listening to this podcast, that's probably what you're going for is like being able to sell yourself. And that's your greatest marketing tool right there.
100%. All right. Number 3. I feel like this one's in your wheelhouse too. Number 3. What is it, Christy?
Like your business to-dos, right? So when we talk about this, those consistent emails, your social presence, your content calendar, have you simplified all of that to get it going? And if you haven't touched any of it, probably feels overwhelming. Hopefully you have. But like make that to-do list that actually needs to happen all year long, but if you haven't been doing it this summer especially. So that business to-do list, right? It's not just going out and working with clients and picking up the phone. It's all of that back end stuff too that really, really needs to take place.
And it's not about being like Insta famous. No. I've seen this so much with like newer agents are like, well, I'm going to have videos go viral on social and then the business is just going to come pouring in. You're like, well, I mean, Christy talks about this all the time. Like going viral these days is not happening like it was. And if you have one video go viral, your phone isn't going to blow up. That isn't really how that works. You might get a couple of extra followers, but like, honestly, like, are you doing the day-to-day, day in and day out things that is building like a consistent voice that you become like a trusted expert in the real estate space? And are you sending those emails? I feel like that's probably one of the unsexiest things to do. But what do you always say?
I don't know. I love email marketing. It's your greatest ROI. So
but it's the only thing you own.
It's the only thing you own is your email list. It's your greatest ROI. Like do it. Like that's just so important to get that going. If you don't have a nurture sequence and you're putting people on, get a nurture sequence. I've done an episode on that. Yep. Yeah. So I just want to touch a little bit on what you said about the going viral and that huge social presence. So there's something to be said if you want to educate realtors, coach realtors, that kind of thing. If you want a bunch of followers that are realtors, right? Build community, of course, that's fantastic. But just because you have this huge following on social, just because you're getting so many likes on certain things, is it actually converting? We've talked about this so many times. Like, is that like converting or is it just a like? Is it just because you're liking each other's stuff and it's just like sort of thing that we do on social media, like you like mine, I like yours, that kind of thing. But where is the money, right? Let's follow the money. And you can build up that big presence on social media, but it doesn't convert. So there's a part where it's really hard to be quiet behind the scenes, but you know your stuff is converting. So if you're seeing the conversion behind the scenes, don't stress out about the forward facing likes and that kind of thing, because honestly, it's not nearly as important. If you get one like and that person actually like has a conversation with you in real life, that's your win, right? So that's what we want to track to when we think about our social media and how our brand, all those pillars are working together. It's not just the forward facing.
That's really hard to wrap your brain around. I feel like when you and I started working together, that was one of the things that I just kind of come banging my head against a wall. But I'm like, but I want my video to go viral and I want like 10,000 followers. And I still don't have 10,000 followers, but like my phone rings. Mm-hmm. Like exactly. The phone rings and be like, hi, I've been watching on social and you were talking about X, Y, and Z and we need to sell my mom's house. Can you come over and do that? And I walk in the door and I have absolutely no competition.
Conversion,
and I've already got
likes.
The business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important. And you could have, we see it all the time. A lot of followers, a lot of likes, a lot of social stuff going on. And you're not sending an email. You don't own any of those. You don't own any of that. And you don't have much business going on. So really kind of get in that mindset of what actually works in my business and get those real to-dos done.
100%. Okay, number 4, analyze your pipeline and prioritize. This is so good at the beginning of the year. Or to think about at the end of the year for filling your pipeline for 2026. And I can't believe I'm saying even 2026 is right around the corner. But so many people with listings, they generally don't call you up and say, hey, I want to list my house next week. Every once in a while that happens, but usually there's a lead up and there's sequence to it. So who have you talked to in 2025 that's oh yeah, we're thinking about listing in the spring? Do you have a list of those people so you can kind of stay in touch? And then when, really applicable information comes out, you can reach out and say, hey, Christy, this is something that, I read this article and it made me think of you right away. And this is something that we're going to strategize with when you put your home on the market next February. And so you're always staying top of mind and people are oh yeah, we want to move next spring. So listings, do you have a list of what's going to be coming up in your pipeline at the end of this year and Q1 and 2 of next year? What about all those buyers sitting on the fence? Buyers that have been sitting on the fence are waiting for rates to come down. If you're not having the conversation that, guess what, rates are in fact coming down, we're in this day in and day out. And so we think that everyone else is paying attention to it. They're absolutely not. People that are even buying houses right now aren't even necessarily paying attention to it like we do being in the business. So are you reaching out and saying, hey, guess what? All the things that you've been asking for and reasons why you've been sitting on the fence, interest rates, not being able to have an inspection, not having a lot of choices to choose from. There's a lot of wins right now out there for buyers, but do the buyers that are in your pipeline that you've been talking to for the last couple of years, do they know that there's a lot of win opportunities for them right now? They might not even know that.
So true. Okay. So number 5, get your finances on track, right?
Oh my God.
Time to trim the fat of all the stuff that you're not using, the wasted subscriptions, all of that kind of stuff. If you're trying to stay focused and maybe just make your finances look a little bit better if they're feeling a little slim, or maybe they're not, maybe they're fine, but really getting your finances on track either way is really important right now, because what you don't want is come tax time next year, you're just a shit show.
Right.
I've
known so many realtors over the years that have gone years and years without filing taxes, and then they all of a sudden do, and they owe $100,000, and then getting on a payment plan with the IRS is terrible. Terrible. So what can you be doing? We all are shiny object. Realtors are famous for this, infamous for this. Is you're just you go to a seminar and they're oh my God, sign up for this program today for $49.99 a month and it will shave time and time. We were talking about this earlier this week, Christy. We have a software that basically was promised it was going to change our lives. And the one thing that we're trying to make it do right now, it's not fucking working.
It's a very basic thing too.
Oh my God. And it's not doing what we needed to do. And so Christy and Carrie and I were having a conversation yesterday. In fact, we're is the $399 that we pay a year for this? And that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but like, it's not doing what we need it to do.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just say F off and like just be done with this software? Because it's more frustrating than the $3.99.
And the time it wastes when you add all that up, it's like more than $3.99, right? It's just like such a time suck.
So it's a perfect time to cut all that fat.
It's a perfect time to cut it all and really set yourself up for like a good financial place to be, especially Q1 next year. So those are the 5 things.
So easy. Well, easy, but not easy, right? Like the list is pretty elementary and it's stuff that you really should be doing all year long. Yeah. But maybe you were like, this was a slippery slope this summer. Now is a great time to get back on track so you can really set, finish your year strong and start 26 and have it be like a record-breaking year. And you had asked me last week, you're like, I wonder how many agents are just going to send their licenses back to the state because they've just been effing around nonstop lately. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a really good question. I haven't heard any of those stats in a while. Like a couple of years ago, it was like tens of thousands of agents across the country. I know something staggering, like 50,000 agents turned their licenses back in. So I wonder, we've had a lot of agents that have been really struggling the last couple of years. And so like, at what point do you just wave the flag? If you're not willing to do these things, which are really like basic entrepreneurial business things, like if you're not willing to do that, like, is it time to just call it? Or are you going to really like dive in and be that agent that's like, this... Beth, Christy, like these are not hard things to do. We're going to get off our ass and start doing them. No more excuses. Just do them. Really just do them. Find the time and do them. So like really too, like ask yourself, what's going to get the phone ringing? Keep moving, keep doing. Don't fall into the guilt. All that guilt that you're going to get if you do the holiday checkout, right? Like, so we're really like prepping you up for success through the end of the year because that guilt is something else. Yep. Yeah. That was a little tough love.
A little tough love, but you've got this. We're cheering you on.
2026 is going to kick ass.
It's going to kick ass. 2025 is kicking ass. So if you found this episode helpful, share it with a realtor friend. Hopefully this helps them too. And remember, until next time,
keep your face off a bus bench.
And keep being the badass boss babe that you are.
Woohoo!
Okay, girls. Are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.